properly, we could all solve and we could all come to different terms with our teams and the people that we deal with. So in our Go Live with Teresa Palm today, our objective is to talk about, solve, and we could all talk about leading virtual collaboration. So these ideas have been taken from the work from Dr. Kinsey Goman, whom we've discussed other topics about before. And what she says is that virtual collaboration enables talented peers to connect and work together through technology. That would be the definition of virtual collaboration. So yes, we are connected, we work together, and it's all in different places. Now, we had discussed before the difference between remote and co-located, which is basically sometimes remote is within the same organization. You're just in a different floor, in a different area of the building. And so you still use technology to work together. And of course, there are challenges because it's much more difficult to get virtual teams to bond, to create genuine dialogue. And it's much easier for misunderstandings to escalate. So in this session today, we are going to discuss 5 tips for leading virtual collaboration, which everybody does. I mean, everybody is now, like I said, in different places within the organization or in other countries, but we are definitely not in the same space. So tip number 1 is know the rules. We have to co-create team rules and norms and standards, expectations for communication, decision-making, conflict resolution, meeting protocol. Yeah, let's know the rules. How are we going to work together? That would be tip number 1. Explore those possibilities with your team and tell them, this is how we could be doing it. Do you have any suggestions? Will you have any comments? And come to a standard of working procedures, right? Now, remember, you have to clarify the team goals and individual responsibilities, because I mean, it's very easy. It's like in a tennis game, when you think the ball is for your partner and the other person thinks that the ball is for your partner too. Well, that happens together. That happens when we work together in teams in virtual environments. So people think that you are responsible. It's not my job, it's your job. So we need to create guidelines to ensure that the virtual meeting environment is safe and it's inviting for everyone. All right. Now, number 2 tip is building trust. And building trust is very important because it's the glue that bonds team members and it also builds commitment. So how do we trust our team members? How do we trust our collaborators in our projects? Well, one way to do it, because we're not, like in a kickoff session where we used to go and say, yoo-hoo, let's start this project together and cheers for this new commencement. Well, now we have to start posting pictures of our collaborators in the teams, writing short descriptions of their professional backgrounds, for example, and also interesting facts or fun facts about our collaborators. Like, I like cooking, I watch movies in my free time, and those things help us to bond the virtual trust and to create a bond and create virtual trust. We need to take a few minutes before each meeting, or maybe at the end of the meeting, and learn how to make small talk. Small talk is very important because that's how we deepen our relationships. We become closer to people because we know that they're just like us. just across the screen, and they have, feelings and interests that we might share, and that might create an atmosphere of trust. Now, tip number 3, let's facilitate the conversation. So how do we facilitate the conversation so it's not a monologue? Now, we can use phrases like, okay, here's the issue that we will be discussing. Does anyone have any clarifying questions? So that gives forth to other people to participate, because it's so easy to just stay back and not just listen and just yada, 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 yada. How can we help our team participate in our reunions, in our virtual meetings? So another phrase would be like, okay, in this brainstorming session, I'd like to ask each one of you your point of view and how we can deal with this situation or approach this problem. So tip number 3 was facilitate the conversation, which I think is crucial. I've had situations where I just see a black screen and somebody's name there and hiding behind the screen. So help them to participate. Now, tip number 4 is we have to mix communication mediums. Now, so sometimes when we're just video conferencing, it's a little bit complicated because, we have to attend, like right now, my phone call, you receive emails. So let's try to mix all the communication mediums. Some messages would be email, some messages would be typing, a text. Another one would be, maybe you can do a chat window. There's other things that we can do, like create a break room, for example, in Zoom or in Teams. You can go out and just meet individually. So the communication mediums are there to help us to collaborate in our virtual environment. Now, tip number 5 is to meet face-to-face as soon as possible. So we meet each other in this new project. Great, here are the team members. When can we go out for coffee? When can we have another meeting to know you, to feel you, to hear you, to understand you as a human being that is just like me, and it's not just behind the screen? Did you note that the voice, body language, proximity, eye contact, and touch are really there for a deeper meaning to our messages? It allows us to gauge the true response of others. So you can detect, the kind of person that they are or what they're doing when you are in a face-to-face situation. Now, those remote teams out there, of course, different countries, of course, you have to rely on the body language that you are getting from these virtual video conferencing. Now, we talked about yesterday the body language. So did you see how I'm pausing and I'm using my voice to be closer, to help you understand what my real true self is, and you build trust. So building trust is crucial in helping your team learn more about each other and to collaborate both professionally and personally. Now, when you engage others by facilitating and not dominating the conversation, you create an atmosphere in which most people can participate and collaborate more freely. So choose the communication medium that's the most effective for delivering your particular message, and bring your virtual team together at least once, face-to-face, in order to more quickly develop those positive and productive relationships that are at the heart of collaboration. So do not hesitate and go for those face-to-face meetings go to those encounters in which, as humans, we know that there's much more to us than just what they see through a screen. Now, all of these ideas are taken from Dr. Carol Kinsey Goman, who's the president of Kinsey Consulting Services. She's an international in-person and virtual keynote speaker for corporations, and she also speaks with different audiences and provides very practical strategies that can be implemented immediately. So I suggest that you follow her work, and please, with regards to our sessions every day at noon with Teresa Palm, keep in touch and let us know how we can help you become a bilingual professional in your area of expertise. We know you're the expert. We know that you have a lot to contribute to corporations and to organizations. So become bilingual and confidently contribute to your teams and to different projects in your area of expertise. Thank you for today, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon. Bye for now.